All right, hey everyone. Today is July 13th, 2024. I'm Chris Lucas. This is my show, The Protestant View. I'm just going to play a few clips. If anyone wants to join the show, you can join the show, give your opinions or your thoughts. But I think what I'll do is I'm still trying to set a few things up, and I didn't want to be too late for the show. So I'm going to play a little bit of Media Bear because he's got a show going on right now. If someone wants to go watch his show instead, you're more than happy to. I mean, more than free to, because I don't care. I'm all about just promoting, I'm all about people just watching what they want to watch, right? So I'm just going to play a little bit of this while I get my show completely set up.
Review. We'll give a listen. I hope the audio's good. Oops, let me take it back.
So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, But we noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, and, we're...
All right, so... Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but can you look up a video for me after this? Sorry, you're muted.
Sorry, I was trying to. Sorry about that. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, I can look up your video after this, no problem.
All right, I'll put it in the side chat.
Right?
Huh?
I said it relates to the whole topic and everything, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sorry I even have to ask that, but you know how people can be, so.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. I'm just gonna play this because I just kind of want to put a message out so I can let people know. So I'm just gonna kind of finish playing this, and then we can play whatever you want to have played. This is only like a 2-minute clip, I think.
Absolutely. We're pointing at them. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? Like they didn't know what was going on. We're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. He's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for 2 or 3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots rang out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes.
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely, at least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling.
I mean, it is kind of crazy, guys, that they Craigslist actor. It is kind of crazy that they didn't have the area secured. Kind of weird, right? But
Yep, police and the Secret Service.
We were telling the police, we were pointing at them for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here?
right.
I mean, this is not a big place.
Did you see? I mean, obviously, everyone when the shooting started, everyone was very panicked. Did you see what happened to him at all?
Oh yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret Service blew his head off.
Okay, just
Wow.
be careful because we don't quite know who's watching, but you're pretty sure they shot the guy.
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, that's all news to me. That's kind of why I wanted to watch it, because I didn't even know that footage even existed. I was just watching a little bit of this show before I was preparing for my show, and I didn't even realize they were doing a show. And I saw this clip, and so I thought, I'd make sure to start the show off playing that. So, Rudy, what was that clip you wanted to play?
It's on well, it's more so just a channel. We don't actually have to play a video, but I just wanted you to scroll through the videos. It's
Okay, sure.
But you can play a video if you want. So the channel's called Jurassic Liars, and Yeah, just Jurassic liars, like Jurassic, but Jew instead.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to.
And then just right. So this guy's basically been predicting Trump's assassination because it says in Revelation 3:16 that there's gonna be like a worldly figure who gets a head wound and fate comes and comes back from the dead, but it'll all be staged though by Lucifer, obviously. But he's been saying this for years, and there just seems to be more desensitization and more predictive programming with these events. Like I believe that this event now has been staged. This isn't a real organic event. It didn't naturally occur. It was just for a show, and it's just going to lead up to Trump causing everyone to worship Elvis after he fake resurrects. I'm not sure if I told you and Jamie this before. I must have mentioned it through Ryan, but yeah, this guy's been like, this is 100% true. This guy, you need to watch a few videos. It's up to your discernment. I can't make you believe. You have to discern, but regardless, it's going to happen 100%, like 100%. It's just not known what year.
Oh, where everyone really believes, or at least this guy believes that Trump is going to get shot, and then there's going to be like a fake resurrection or something.
Yeah, 4 days later, like it says in the Bible, that there's a beast who gets a deadly head wound. Most people take that as figurative speech. It's not. It's not a metaphor. It's actually hard. It's hard to tell when it's a metaphor because it mentions all these beasts. But regardless, Satan is going to manifest.
Okay. The one problem I have with that, because I was watching a little bit of another channel called Off Grid Desert Farming, and he was bringing up the same kind of thing where he was like, well, basically, he was going as far as to saying that the deadly head wound that Trump just got, or saying it could be a deadly head wound, and comparing it to Revelation. And the problem I have with this is that when you look up Revelation, and I actually have it up on the screen, it says, and one of the heads of it was as having been slain to death, right? But I mean, like the Greek word is this kephilon or kephalon. I think that's how you pronounce it. Heads, but this is like plural for heads. So it's like, how does like that's what I wonder when these people start thinking it's one single person that's getting shot that it's being referred to here. It's like, what do you do with that Greek word heads right there?
Let's see. Right, that's the Trump is one of the heads. It's just it's like a hand. Like Trump is one hand. There's another figure that's a thumb. There's another figure that's a. It's just all the same beast, but one animal, which is the Antichrist. The body of the Antichrist. It's just a counterfeit to the body of Christ.
Well, one of the heads of the beast. So who's that beast?
Beast, I believe, because he mentions that there's a trio, unholy trinity of Trump, Elvis, and Obama, but Obama isn't as relevant. But the beast,
Trump,
that's the one that
Elvis.
Yeah, Elvis.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that. Like I'm only telling you because I know you're like you know about the truth already. Like obviously people laugh at me when I say it, so I'm kind of used to it.
Well, the whole thing with adding Elvis to the mix and Obama, it's just I just think I think Obama and Trump are puppets. So I'm just like, is this guy being? I mean, is he actually serious when he's?
Yes, he's dead serious, and I'm dead serious.
Do you believe the similar thing?
No, I believe everything that he's saying and have for since 2019. I met him in 2016, but 2019 is when I caught up with him.
So my whole thing is, does he think the Jews are behind all of this?
Yeah, he says that they're crypto Jews, which is partial or mixed Jews. And I believe that they're mixed with Canaanite. They're not just purebred Jews, they're Canaanite and Jews. In my opinion, I don't know.
Yeah, and what about does he ever bring up the Vatican at all? I'm just curious.
Well, he knows that they're satanic. He's not a Catholic or promoting that. I mean, anyone on that channel is already like totally done with just the lies. They know Catholics are false. They know SDAs are false. They know all these other religions are false. Like I wouldn't say everyone because there's a handful. There's always that handful that haven't caught up. But, right, I just wanted to let you know that this is just like this is the end game for Satan. This is it for him. This is what he's gonna do.
Yeah, I definitely think there's something something big going on. But I've been thinking this since 2017. As soon as I saw Trump nominate all that deep state, because when he nominates people like Kavanaugh, William Barr, these are all people that helped the deep state back, during Ronald Reagan's times and everything, and George Bush's time. So it's like when you see him nominating these same people, you know that he can't possibly be trying to fight the deep state because he's filling the United States back up with swamp. The same swamp that, that's kind of been running everything anyway. So
Right, it's the
that's why I
swamp.
knew Trump. There was something big, especially when you see the entire media attacking him like he's a legit guy. It's like, okay, you're attacking him like you're scared of him, but we know you can't possibly be scared of him because he's nominating everyone that is deep state. So why would the deep state be scared of him? So I kind of knew this was coming. And that's why it's like everything that happens, I'm real skeptical of it. Like the shooting, it's like it's really hard for me to believe that's a real shot. And I really feel sorry for people who think it like I mean, maybe he really did get shot, but I mean, like what I'm saying what I'm saying is though, if anyone thinks that this makes Trump legit, like they're actually trying to kill him, I feel sorry for him because I really think Trump's a puppet. I think back in 2020, I thought they would probably have him lose the election and then reelect him in 2024 to make him seem more legit. Make his vaccine look like not that big of a deal. Because it kind of hides the fact of his vaccine when he pushes the thing, then he's gone for 4 years, and then everyone's so focused on his election supposedly getting rigged. And then if they beg for him to come back, which is what it kind of looks like, is that people are wanting him back. At least that's how the media makes it seem. And so if he comes back, it's like you can't say that his vaccine was bad and his lockdown was bad because why did you want him back in office if it was bad? So to me, it helps. It helps smooth over the whole vaccine thing, and then it also prepares whatever else they got planned that's going on around this. I mean, do you have any thoughts about what they have planned, why they have this yes, this attempted looking assassination?
All right, like well, for that, it's just desensitization and predictive programming. It's just instilling it in the masses that something big is going to happen. And for the swamp, yeah, he did never actually drain the swamp, and matter of fact, he added to it and is a part of the swamp, the very swampy, right? And same with the jabs. I'm not trying to say the word, but
Oh, you
that's
can go ahead
essential.
and say it. You can say it. I'm
Oh,
like
okay.
this. I'm on Rumble too. If I get real, if it gets too crazy, which I don't think it will, I got a good feel for the censors on YouTube.
Right. It's like everyone forgot about those vaccines. They were triple boosted and really for no reason. It's the virus is non-existent and has been for around 2 years. but the vaccines have still been lingering and causing clots and all this other stuff. Like, it's just a staged event. I don't. But yeah, I'm glad you let me on. Um, I don't think. Well, maybe Ryan will go live. I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, it's a matter of anyone who wants to come on, share their thoughts. You guys can disagree with me if you want. I mean, I know me and Rudy don't see eye to eye, and I definitely see some different things going on. I let Rudy come on and and speak. So, even if you guys are pro Trump, feel free to come on here and tell me why. I think it's kind of crazy though. But hey, this one person said, Piet Pompey over on Rumble says, who should be Republican nominee if not Trump? And I just think almost anyone. It's the problem is I don't think the Republican Party is unfixable. The problem is you don't have people with any kind of wisdom participating. Like okay, I try to run before to the Republican Party, and because I started bringing up things about Trump, no one wanted to get behind me, right? And I'm like, but his vaccine, I disagree with his lockdown. And then people get mad at me and say, no, Chris, he's playing 4D chess and he's actually out to save us, and I'm having to fight against all these people who are crazy about Trump. So now all my opponents got to do in the Republican primary, because I'm running in the Republican primary, I was. And now all my opponent does is say, "Oh, I like that Trump, and I want to make America great." Boom, he gets everybody to start supporting him. Meanwhile, someone that's actually been pushing against all this stuff, everyone gets mad at me because I'm saying something bad about Trump. And if we just stopped playing that game, we could actually get the right people in, but it's going to take participation. Like, people can't just sit there and okay, right before a primary, and then you're going to get involved. You actually need to get involved in your local state elections way before the primary, and look for people who might be running for your local office. Like, even if it's just a city council person, make sure there's the people in your neighborhood, and if they're running, help them out. Like, you just can't wait until the primary and go, oh, who's on the primary ticket? Well, I guess I'll go vote for this guy or that guy, because I think the problem is people are waiting until the primary starts, and it just allows the wrong people to get on, because the right people are looking for help and not getting help. Because that's what happened to me. I didn't know anyone cared until later on, and then everyone starts telling me, oh, Chris, I heard you were running. And it's like, well, I was trying to tell everyone for about a year that I was thinking about it, and I wasn't getting any kind of support. And so, I mean, that's kind of the problem. I mean, as far as who should be a Republican nominee, I don't know. Like, I didn't like anyone running this time. I don't think there was no legit candidates, and that's part of the problem. Is there was other people you could have tried to say, hey, we need someone else, but yet all we heard was people cheering for Trump. So it sounds like, why would another candidate try to run if everyone's going to vote for Trump? Or, I mean, if everyone was maybe saying, oh, Trump is the problem, then maybe someone else comes out, and tries to run. But I mean, it's just not going to work if we're cheering for Trump. I mean, it sounds like everyone wants another lockdown and another vaccine. So,
Well, that's definitely not beyond them. I'll give them that.
and Brother Timothy, glad to see that someone else is kind of awake, because he said this would happen almost 2 years ago. Oh, well, I guess, but you say they would never give him back power. He never had power to begin with. I think he was always a puppet. I mean,
right. None of those people in power aren't in power without being overlooked by Satan.
Yeah, see, I agree with Ogway because he says, or at least nominate a nominee that isn't Jesuit affiliate, right? Because it's like all these candidates from, I mean, especially when you go back to just even Reagan to Trump, you got these cabinets that are almost all nothing but Roman Catholic. Like Trump had 33 Catholic advisors. He nominated almost everyone that was from a Catholic school or a Roman Catholic themselves. Now you got to think when the Pope wants an open border and the Pope wants vaccine mandates and the Pope wants gun laws and the Pope is also having these councils of culture where he says, "Oh, we want to do something about free speech." Okay, now if you nominate a bunch of Catholics and all those guys are calling him Holy Father, what do you think Holy Father is going to say? I mean, or what do you think these people are going to do that are calling Pope Holy Father? They're going to probably listen to Holy Father, and then they're going to be, "Oh, Holy Father, what would you do?" But this sounds really weird when you're calling a man on earth Holy Father like he's God. And then you're going to trust these people that they're going to do the right thing, that they're not going to be influenced by their so-called Holy Father walking the earth. So, and then it's like if Holy Father wants open borders, oh, well, I guess you're going to get open borders because, I mean, you've nominated all these people that want the same thing. But, if anyone's got any, sorry, still got a slight cold. If anyone has any clips that you want me to play up on the screen and talk about too, you guys just mention them. If you mention the titles, I'll also play that. I don't care. Kind of wonder if they even found some stuff. One thing about this Trump picture though, when they got that and they got that flag in the back and they got Trump raising his fist, basically how my thumbnail had it. When you look at that, it looks so staged and so like they really wanted to get a shot that would really capture the emotion and
I know,
get
right?
to people. Yeah, it's like I was thinking about how that looks a lot like what's that one? Iwo Jima. That picture right here where they're raising that flag. Oh, I wish you could find a better one. Oh yeah, that iconic one right here. Let me see that, and then you see that Trump picture. I don't. That's the first picture I thought of when I saw that. It reminded me of the exact same thing. Like they're trying to capture that exact same emotion. But hey, anyone that wants to come on, the link, the live stream link is in the description if you want to join the open panel. I mean, I'll throw it out there again for people, but if anyone wants to come on, feel free to share your thoughts. They don't have to be my thoughts. This it's just about anyone sharing whatever thoughts you got. And Rudy, if you got anything else you want to share, you're more than free to also, man.
Well, Trump doesn't have to be reelected in order to get assassinated again. I mean, yes.
Assassinated again.
Yeah. Well, I'd call it staged assassination, but assassinated again is
right.
And right, Uguay, he's Jesuit affiliated with all these other secret societies as well. Haven't seen a president or celebrity that hasn't been. It's just a common pattern, really.
Now, earlier when I did make a video earlier where I said I didn't see blood on his hand, but when I'm looking at this picture, I guess I do see some blood that might have been rubbed off from his ear onto his fist. But it looked like earlier when he was kind of wet, like he does his fist, he holds his fist up, and as he's walking off the stage, he's got an open hand. And it looked to me like there was no blood on his hand. I thought that was weird because it looked like he touched his ear as soon as he got shot. then went down to the ground, and you would think he'd have blood all over his hand from grabbing his ear, because that would seem like the first thing you would check, you know, is to touch your ear and then look at your hand to see if you got blood on it. But so I can't really tell. So I don't want people to think, oh, he was trying to say there's no blood and didn't get shot. Well, it's, you know, now once I saw a clearer picture of this, and it does look like there might be some blood on his wrist. So, but I you know, one thing I also wonder is if, when he got shot, they have the camera turned away from him, so he covers his ear, and he's covering the ear that's not in front of the camera, and then he goes down on the ground, and I keep wondering if it's real, you know, like real blood, if they clipped his ear while he's laying down on the ground, and then he gets up, you know, and everyone can see he's bleeding. Because I don't even know if he actually got, like, I have my doubts if he actually got shot.
Yeah, if he did, was it like on the neck or on the ear? Like what actually caused him to bleed? Obviously, it's reported to be the bullet, but I don't know about that.
Yeah, because if I play this again,
No indication that there.
Kill the sound, but should have. But it's like when he gets down to the ground, he's like down on the ground for a few minutes. Oh yeah, here it is. So if you watch it, and then he's down on the ground, right? So I'm just like wondering, right while he's down on the ground right there, do they puncture his ear? You know, one of the Secret Service guys clips his ear, makes it bleed a little bit, and then gets up. And I also wonder, you see this person right here with a cell phone? Now, hopefully, I'm wondering, did she just whip out that cell phone, or was there already a cell phone out before he got shot? Because the one thing I'm wondering is, I want to see some footage of those people behind him, if they had cell phones, that way we could see him actually getting shot. Because it's kind of weird if if those people had cell phones out, and it'd be weird if they didn't have cell phones out and they're at some big event. But especially, you know, if they had cell phones out, they should be recording all this and seeing all this. So I guess it's only one spectator dead, because I thought there was two that they said was dead earlier. I want to get to that one. I was trying to get to that one part where we're actually seeing the rally, because I'm curious if I actually see people. Because I didn't think I went that far back. Oh, yeah, right, here we go. Because I wanted to see if someone... Okay, so this one lady, she does have a cell phone out the whole time. So hopefully we get to see her cell phone footage. Because I'm really curious if he actually got shot. I would like to see someone's cell phone footage from behind here and see if he actually got shot. And these people look pretty calm, too, for a shooting to be happening.
Right. I mean, you hear like one guy yelling, like there's one scream, and then that's about it. Like literally, if you play it like the second after it happens or so, there's like one scream, and then people barely move. I wouldn't say that they're all in on it, but who knows?
Yeah, see, my whole thing is my reflexes would be a little bit hyped like I wouldn't. I don't know. Like I'd be like looking around, seeing what was going to happen, especially if I really believe like Trump's a legit candidate. And that there was I heard shots. I actually see a legitimate attempt on him. That would get me fired up if I thought this was a real legit guy, because I'd be like, oh, let me look around and see who's doing it, who's hurt, what's going on. It's like, I mean, I don't know. It really shocks me that these people, there's just a feeling of like, I don't know if they're just stunned, if it seems unreal, but they just look a little like pretty calm. Like there's, so now we see this man. I really wonder what's going through their minds, man.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a hole, but who knows?
I just can't believe some people calling this like a deadly head wound. Because, you know, there's people that think Trump's the Antichrist. I don't think Trump's a good president and all, but I don't know, man. I keep thinking calling him the Antichrist I just feel like he's more of a puppet. Like a charismatic puppet.
Yeah, they're all puppets. There's nothing new about that. Anyone saying that this is a deadly head wound, well, he's clearly not dead. So that discounts that. I don't even know how people actually like get along with YouTubers who say that.
It's real tough for me, I'll tell you that. Oh. But I mean, that's what I did here, you know. I mean, off-grid desert farming, he was going off on that, and I was like, dude, that's kind of a stretch. Because I just can't get a feeling that any of this is like that legit. Because it's like, why would they want to kill him? Why? He did everything they wanted him to do. There's no reason for them to kill him. There's and I mean, Trump's just like, to me, he's just a nobody. I just feel like he's a guy that's like, oh yeah, you know, I'll do all this stuff. I don't mind, you know, serving whoever it is to get this power.
He was basically born into it, right?
And well, you know, that might be true, man.
Well, yeah, his family was rich. He got loans off them, became rich. It's not like he gradually became that. He's just born into it, and it was always destined to do all that.
Raised in it, groomed into it. Yeah, I could kind of see all that. It could be that they always knew they're preparing for this role too. I don't know. But I really don't have much to say. If no one wants to come on, because it's like I was just seeing if there might be a lot of people that might want to come on and share their opinions of what's going on. Because for me, this wasn't that big of a news story, because I just feel like this. Like, I just feel like I'm waiting for them just to roll out their whole little movie that's just going to fool the majority of people. You know, it's like I've been dealing with, like, basically living in a place where I feel like I'm losing my mind, because I see so many people just buying into this and believing this guy's legit, believing someone actually wants him dead. And I can't, like, no one evil wants him dead. And I definitely don't think he's the Antichrist, because he's just not. I don't know, man. To me, he's just a guy doing the same thing Obama did, doing the same thing Reagan did, where people think, oh, Reagan's so legit, and now they think, oh, Obama's so legit, and they think Trump's so legit.
Well, the truth is none of them are. They're all, since George Washington, all both related and related to Satan in terms of just they have ties to him. And it's not like they can leave either. They don't really have a choice after they finally get initiated or whatever. Trump isn't anybody, but he's just another sacrificial pawn. Like there's no one in the Dark Kingdom that isn't a sacrificial pawn after a certain point. It's just
yeah, I can't even imagine what they're. I keep thinking they're gonna bring Trump back, but I just wonder what all these little things they're doing is gonna set it up. Like, is this so they can have more gun control? Is this so they legitimize Trump even more? You know, he's going to probably wind up having a record-breaking fundraising campaign now. Because I can't even remember any guy that's running for president that's ever been shot while he's running. Could look that up. I don't think that's ever occurred, though. See if I can get over to Bing. I'll ask Bing. Has any presidential... Oops. No. Here we go. Has any presidential candidate ever been shot? Can't respond to this topic. What?
is that
Has anyone ever been shot while running for president who was not actually the president at the time? If it does this to me again, that'd be really weird.
Yes, there have been instances where presidential candidates were shot while running for office, even though they were not the sitting president at the time. Here are a couple of notable examples. Robert F. Kennedy. He was a Democratic presidential candidate when he was shot on June 5, 1968, in Los Angeles. Unfortunately, he succumbed to his injuries the following day. George Wallace. The governor of Alabama was running for the Democratic nomination for president in 1972 when he was shot and paralyzed from the waist down during a campaign event in Laurel, Maryland. These incidents highlight the risks and dangers faced by political figures during their campaigns. Is there a particular aspect of these events you're interested in learning more about?
I was wondering about someone who was running for president after winning the Democrat or primary. Oops, hold on, let me stop this for a second. I want to ask a specific. I was wondering if there was anyone who was ever shot after winning the Republican or Democrat primary. What the? Okay, it would answer that question. It wouldn't answer the other question. I was wondering if there was anyone who, after winning the Democrat or Republican primary, who was shot as they run for president besides Donald Trump. Man, why is it so sensitive to that? Like, you can't, like, wow, I can't even ask if someone's been shot. That's so sensitive. So I guess Trump is the first person. Let me see. Is Trump the first candidate who won the primary who got shot as he's attempting to run for president? Yeah, okay. Can't ask it any sort of way. All right. Well, there's that. I think he's the first person after winning a primary who has been shot while they're running for president. So that should really just really increase the amount of funding he'll get. But I can't really think of much more to add to this. I might just go watch Media Bear, unless he's going to be just talking about mask, because I would rather talk about Trump. Okay, so he's just having this mask people challenge and stuff. So, well, I got nothing new to tell people. Sorry, it's like I was gonna share whatever. I could just start going over Trump stuff.
They're also, of course, waiting to envelop the new running mate to be named at some point, and that person would also have Secret Service protection when former President Trump announces his pick. What happened today rattles the very core of the Secret Service. They do train for this. They are dealing with this potential threat at every event all the time. Here at the White House, where I am right now, no visible sign of any enhanced security. They are focused on certainly the events surrounding the former president at that location. It would also include state and local authorities who would be on the ground participating in the investigation, which would typically be led by the FBI. So as far as any contact from the president, he's got a team of senior advisors around him who are able to give him direct information from the Secret Service, as well as the Department of Justice, law enforcement, and importantly, those Homeland Security advisors, both at the cabinet level and inside the White House, who may have more of a picture about potential threats.
And carefully, you'll hear the sound of the gunshots and what appears to be the moments right after that until he is rushed into his car. Here it is.
A little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Moving to spare. Hold. When you're ready. On you. Ready. Move. Up. Move. Go. Up. Hawkeye's here. Hawkeye's here. Moving to the spare. Spare, get ready. Spare, get ready. We ready? We're good. Shooters down. Are we good to move? We're clear. Let's move. We're clear. Come on. Let me get my shoes. I got you, sir. Let me get my shoes. Hold on, you're ready. Bloody. So we gotta go to the class. Let me get my shoes. Okay. Watch out. Wait.
Behind. I was attending
in Florida, as you know, but they have beefed up out of an abundance of caution. No specific intelligence that something would happen at Trump Tower, but I think based on the events today, you can see any of the Trump properties where he has stayed, where he might stay, to face an increased law enforcement presence until everybody figures out exactly what's going on here. We've seen no indication that there are any other individuals involved. On the other hand, nobody so far has told us that there are no other individuals involved, and that's obviously part of an active investigation. They do have images of this person. They do have their body. And so presumably they do have an identification as well. And so we'll continue to track the specifics about this person, what may have led up to it, and all the questions that we would normally ask, including the type of weapon that may have been used in this. But obviously, law enforcement, I can tell you, up and down the East Coast tonight, acutely aware of what happened today and following it very closely. And as you and I have discussed on numerous occasions in your exclusive interview with the FBI director, we are no doubt in a heightened threat environment. They've been very concerned about the idea of some sort of a political-based violence. And obviously tonight it appears we've seen exactly that, Lester.
All right. Tom Winter, our investigative producer with the very latest. Tom, thanks very much. We should note while you were talking, we got word that the President Biden, will be cutting short his Delaware weekend and heading back to the White House, apparently as a result of all of this. NBC's Dasha Burns is just outside that Trump rally. She was there when the shots rang out. Dasha, earlier we saw people, you were talking to people who were leaving the rally site. Were any of them detained, not obviously for suspects, but detained for questioning as witnesses of what they saw?
Yeah, Lester, one of the gentlemen that we spoke with who was right next to the man who was shot and killed. He was just next to him a couple of yards away at the rally. He actually said he helped to carry his body out of the venue. He's an OBGYN from Pennsylvania. His name is Joseph. We spoke with him earlier as we've been in this parking lot. Here you see now night has fallen in Butler County. This parking lot that was just recently filled with thousands and thousands of cars, people who came here for a political rally, never thinking that something like this would happen here in Butler County, a small rural area that's typically pretty quiet. Now this lot is empty, and we did have a conversation with that man, Joseph, who says he has been waiting to speak with Secret Service. We're going to follow up with him to see how that conversation went, but he said he had been planning on having that conversation. I want you to take a listen to some of this interview and some of what he heard. That is where I ran into a man named Joseph, and I want to introduce him to you now. And as we just learned, Joseph, you weren't listening to the program here, but Lester Holt, NBC News, just reporting that one of the attendees has deceased, has died from injuries as a result of the shooting. Joseph, you told me off camera that you may have witnessed this, and I'm so sorry to be talking to you in this tragic moment, but can you describe what it is that you saw?
I was attending the rally. I was in the set of bleachers, the very far left of the podium where President Trump was speaking. I was there with friends. I heard several gunshots. The man beside me suffered a gunshot wound to the head, was instantly killed, fell to the bottom of the bleachers. Another woman looked like she got hit in the forearm or hand. And then at that point in time, it was rather chaotic at that point because half the people were looking because they thought it was fireworks. I knew it was gunshots right away. My friend, he hit the deck. I was kind of looking around just trying to see where the shots were coming from. It seemed to me like the shots were coming from behind the bleachers. It seemed to me the man got hit in the head from behind. He was killed instantly as far as I could tell. And at that point, state police and a SWAT team, started evacuating the bleachers, and then I helped carry the man out of the bleachers to a tent that was behind.
And Lester, that's just one of the several harrowing stories that we heard from eyewitnesses today, people of all ages, people talking about the children that they saw, who they are so concerned about, who obviously are going to live with this trauma for the rest of their lives. Our own team, it was myself, my producer Bianca, our cameraman Sirkin, our audio technician Henry, our embed Jake. We were all there. We were all in the press pen when we heard those shots first ring out. All of us initially thinking this must be fireworks. There's no way this could happen here. We know how intense the security is around these events, and then coming to realize the the reality of the situation, that it was in fact what we fear most when we think about the divisive political environment that we are in right now. I spoke to another woman named Vanessa, who was just a few rows behind the former president. She says she witnessed him turn his head to point out a screen that was on the side of him where there was a chart showing immigration statistics. He turned to point at the moment that she saw that blood come out of his ear, that we now know from his own True Social post was a bullet grazing his ear. She says if he hadn't turned his head at that very moment, things could have been very different for the former president and the current Republican candidate for president of the United States, Lester.
Yeah, I think anybody that looks at that picture comes to the same conclusion how close this was. Dasha, thanks. Rico Elmore was at the Trump rally and spoke at the event. He was an eyewitness and says he saw someone get hit by gunfire and rush to their side. He joins me on the phone. Rico, where were you in relation to the president?
So I was about 15, 20 feet to the president's right. I was a special guest, being that I spoke today with a few other friends of mine. We were speaking as well. And yeah, like 15, 20 feet away.
And then as the shots rang out, did you identify them as shots right away? How did you react?
So a part of me thought they were fireworks. It was like a split mental thought, because I'm like, oh, you can't have a gun or anything in this area because of the security measures that are in place. It's impossible. So my brain says that's a firework going off. How did I get here? Who knows? But it's something small. And then I heard the second shot go off, and like I said, these were split seconds. So like I said that's a gun. It's a firearm. So I got up. I yelled, everyone to get down. Everybody was getting down. Everybody was yelling, get down. I told people to get down. And then as I'm just pointing people and telling people, like, you know, get down. It's safe measures. And people were listening. And then I seen they had yelled for the medic. And there was an individual who was hit in the head. And there was no medical personnel in the area. So I ran to try to get them, you know, to get help.
Was this the individual that we believe was deceased?
Yes. I jumped over the barrier that was there. I ran up into the bleachers, and there was a towel that the people had, and I took the towel and I pushed it against the deceased head, and just to try to, it's all I can think about doing was trying to, you know, help them, but my efforts were in vain.
Yeah, Rico, you went to what was supposed to be a rally. It's supposed to be a fun thing for, you know, the party and candidate faithful, and it turns to this. These things sometimes take a long time to sink in, to know how close you were to danger. But have you seen any of the video, and just share with me your thoughts?
My thoughts are for the family. My thoughts are for the ones that were lost tonight in an act that was senseless and cowardice, all because of a feeling that one would have against an individual. No one had to lose their lives. You have the freedom of speech. You have the freedom to assemble. You have the freedom. You can go protest the fact that President Trump was there. Okay, that's fine. But to try to kill, to shoot into a crowd of thousands of people, I can't fathom that.
Yeah.
But my heart goes out to the families. It's unreal.
When did you realize the former president had been shot?
I didn't.
See,
Secret Service protects the president.
So they surrounded him as they're supposed to do.
They did their job. My job was to get to the victims and to the people. I mean, that's what I felt my job was to do. You know,
Are you
I
attending?
have-
Are you attending the Republican National Convention this week?
No.
No. Okay. All right. Well, Rico, thank you so much for.
Unless
Yeah, go ahead.
unless you know they call me up and say we want you to attend and we'll fly you out here, I'm not attending.
Okay. Understood. Listen, thank you for talking to us. I'm sorry you had to witness what you did. It's awful to hear, and thank you for taking the time.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Garrett Hake covers former President Trump, and Donald Trump has posted tonight on Truth Social. He filled in a lot of the blanks for us. Give us a sense of what he wrote.
That's right, Lester. While Donald Trump's campaign has been all but silent tonight, the candidate himself has been speaking.
You know, one thing about these pictures when I'm watching them and they're going by real slow. Oh, I didn't mean to go back that far. But when I keep seeing his fists and everything and his hands, I don't see blood. I thought I did, but now I'm thinking that was a shadow.
It's all I can think
It's
about
just
is
really
the
weird
shadow.
if you got shot. You grab your ear and you
help
don't
him.
see blood.
But
especially when they
efforts
start
were
going
in
to
vain.
these
Yeah,
like
Rico, you went
real close.
You went to what was supposed to be a rally. It's supposed to be a fun
Photos.
thing for, the party and candidate faithful, and it turns to this. These things sometimes take a long time to sink in, to know how close you were to danger.
to the victims and
It's like right around
and to the
here.
people. I mean, that's what I felt my job was to do. You know,
Are you
I
attending?
have-
Are you attending the Republican National Convention this week?
no.
No.
Like, you would just think Trump would have blood on his hands. Like, from grabbing his ear. Almost like, man, your hands are real clean. I'm pretty sure you would grab your ear.
All right. Well,
right,
Rico,
to
thank
check
you
it
so much
and
for.
see if you got blood coming out.
Yeah, good.
Unless you know,
I mean, it's just kind of odd. I don't see any.
they call me up and say we
Any
want
blood.
you to attend and we'll fly you out here, I'm not attending.
Okay, understood. Listen, thank you for talking to us. I'm sorry you had to witness what you did. It's awful to hear, and thank you for taking the time.
I wish I could see his fingertips. You would think you would have it on your palm or something.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, Garrett Hake covers former President Trump, and Donald Trump has posted tonight on Truth Social. He filled in a lot of the blanks for us. Give us a sense of what he wrote.
That's right, Lester. While Donald Trump's campaign has been all but silent tonight, the candidate himself has been speaking out on Truth Social, in which he describes the incident from his perspective, talking about being up on stage and saying that he was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of his right ear. He says, I knew immediately that something was wrong and that I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through the skin. Much bleeding took place, he said. So I realized then what had happened. Lester, the former president also thanks law enforcement and offers his condolences to the person who was killed at the rally and another, he says, who was badly injured. I think we now know that there were two people who were badly injured. He also talks about the idea that he says it's incredible that an act like this can take place in our country. And
You know, the thing that kind of gets me about this whole thing is those people say that one guy that was just speaking says he climbed up into bleachers and put a like something to the guy's head to help control an attempt to try to control the bleeding. That other guy that was like an OBYN, I think that's what they said he was, like and they said he was sitting right next to that person who got shot. And I just don't see I play these clips back, I've been looking for these particular people in the crowd and I don't see them. And I thought they said they were sitting up in the bleachers to the left. And I was looking at both sides of it in case, left to them was different than left to me or whatever, right? So I'm looking on both sides. I don't see people like screaming like, someone got shot. Hey, get someone over here, like, pointing. Because, like, I'm thinking if this was, like, if I saw someone get shot and they're in the bleachers and they're next to me, I'm going to be pointing, like, hey, hey, help, help, waving my hand, pointing down, and like screaming, trying to let someone know someone got shot, get some medical attention over here. So I'd be like waving and pointing, right? Like, hey, 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 hey. And when I'm looking at this crowd, I'm like, where are the people reacting to the people who got shot, right? That's trying to get help over. And so maybe we see some different angles of this footage later, but I'd like to see that. Like where is this footage at where these people are like in the crowd yelling, hey, get some help over here. And I like to, is this maybe here? Okay, so before that,
his ear, and then you can see this, this team of Secret Service agents can quickly swarm him, confirm that he is clear, out of danger, the risk nullified, and then he is escorted to his vehicle.
A team, started evacuating the bleachers, and then I helped carry the man out of the bleachers to a tent that was behind the bleachers.
You helped carry the man yourself. What was his condition when you were carrying him?
Maybe it's over here.
He died.
How close were you to him?
A couple yards. I mean, it wasn't very far.
Did you know the man?
No, it's a police ranger. They put a towel over his head and then carried him off.
And you said there was another woman nearby who was also injured. Where was she in relation to him?
I believe she was in the bleachers, like either behind, above me, or just to the side of him. But it seemed like she was kind of at my flank, and then she flinched, and it looked like she had taken a gunshot wound to the forearm and hand.
Joseph, from where I was standing, we heard multiple gunshots, 8 to 11 shots. We've been hearing it
I don't
replayed
see
on
no
the
one
video
from
here.
that side.
Do you remember? Can you tell? I know it was a chaotic scene, but at what point was it? Immediately when you heard the gunshots that he was shot, or was it later on into the firing?
The first 7, he was hit with.
Secret Service and his team. He is now being checked out based on his campaign at a local medical facility, presumably in the area of Butler, Pennsylvania, where this rally has been happening here. I can tell you we are also hearing from his son, Donald Trump Jr., who is posting a picture of his father in the seconds after this happened with his fist raised. It's an image, Lester, that we have showed a couple of times in our special coverage here, saying he'll never stop fighting to save America. We are also hearing from others in the broader political orbit, including, for example, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who says now is the time for every American.
So I keep looking for that picture. Where is that footage of this person being shot? I mean, not person being shot, but like someone, yelling like, hey, someone got shot. Get someone over here. You would think you would just see some hand waving and going on. And I don't know. I mean, even Trump's reaction just seems a little odd to me, because especially if I don't know if I would be waving my fist, like if someone attempted to shoot me, just off the simple fact that I just wonder if I'd be kind of worried about people around me. And that wouldn't like really spring to my mind, especially if I would have thought someone did get hurt. And it just seems like you might be aware of that. See, and the thing is, these people are chanting USA, USA, but if someone actually got shot and they're dead, I mean, okay, I'm just thinking you see someone that might got shot, right? You see like over here, like, because someone's got to be pointing and waving their arms around going, hey, get some medical attention. Someone got shot. Someone got shot. And you would think that if you're at this rally, I mean, I'm not going to be like, oh, there's someone shot over there. Oh, Trump, hey, USA, 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 USA. Even though someone over here's got their brains blown out, I think I'd be like more focused on get medical attention over here, right? Like, So some of this crowd is a little bit odd to me because someone's dead, someone just got shot. And I don't care that even if this is all real, it just seems like it's just being played out kind of weird to me that this is everyone's reaction. You know, Trump raised his fist and then everyone chants USA. That's in the bleachers because I'm watching the people. I can understand the crowd, you know, in front of Donald Trump cheering and stuff and chanting that because they might not be aware of what's going on in the bleachers. But all those people in the bleachers, they're not that far away from each other. And you would think that someone would be yelling and screaming that someone needs an ambulance and someone got shot. You know, and there's one person that's dead. There's another person that they say got 2 gunshots to them. And yet it's like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I just kind of think that's a little bit odd that they're chanting USA, USA, and it's just the initial reaction.
He is ushered off.
Oops.
The political world just starting to absorb what has
wish I could
unfolded
listen
in
to this
Pennsylvania
live.
with just days until the Republican
listen to that
National
one more
Convention gets
time.
underway. Let me read you some of the.
Hit him on the. Said, take a look at what happened.
There you see it, Jim.
Yeah, yeah.
Jim, stand by. I want to go to Kristen Welker, who has some very late-breaking news.
Jose, Secret Service spokesperson just posted on X saying an incident occurred the evening of July 13th at a Trump rally in Pennsylvania. The Secret Service has implemented protective measures and the former president is safe. This is now an active Secret Service investigation and further information will be released when available. Again, that is from the Secret Service. Everyone just absorbing what has occurred and unfolded in Pennsylvania. We're also getting reaction from a number of the vice presidential.
I do want
White
to
House
see
for
one
any,
thing.
additional information. Jose, as we
Be
gather
right
that, we will of course share
here.
it with you.
Peter Alexander, thank you so very much. Of course, continue monitoring this for us. I want to bring in retired ATF Special Agent Jim Kavanaugh. He is with us.
Maybe this
tonight.
person is
Jim,
doing
and
something
when we
over
look at
here. I can't
these
tell what he's
images,
doing.
there is so much that tells people like you so much about the trajectory, where it seems that
So if someone got shot, it might be right
gunshots
over in
or
this
whatever
one little
came
corner
from the
here.
president was looking towards his right when at least 2 of what seemed
Hosting that event in Washington, a huge perimeter was built for the NATO summit that President Biden was participating in with world leaders.
So it looks like
as
someone
well.
right
As I'm
around
speaking to you,
here.
I'm checking my phone and texting
Starts
with colleagues,
pointing.
with staff at the White House for any additional information. Jose, as we gather that, we will of course share it with you.
Peter Alexander, thank you so very much. Of course, continue monitoring this for us. I want to bring in retired ATF Special
Like
Agent
this guy right
Jim
here.
Kavanaugh.
I'm
He is
wondering
with
if
us,
that shot
tonight.
happened right over
Jim,
here.
and when we look at these images, there is so much that tells people like you so much about the trajectory, where it seems that these gunshots or whatever came from. The president was looking towards his right when at least 2 of what seemed to be gunshots rang out. And then he immediately kind of went towards his right ear as he was dropping. It seems later, Jim, that there may be up to 2 what appear to be lines, one right up above his mouth on his cheek going towards his ear, and then one on the lower part of his cheek. What does this tell you, Jim?
Yeah, well, you're exactly right, Jose. I mean, he certainly reacted to his right. I mean, appears to be he was struck in his right ear. That where appears to be where all the blood is. We don't know if that blood on the cheek is a wound or just blood spatter. It's hard to tell. But he certainly reacted to his right. He felt the sting on his right, probably his right ear. There's bleachers behind him that are filled, with supporters. But he kind of looks to his right. Now, it doesn't mean that the shot was directly to his right, that came directly from his right. It's just he hit him on the.
Take a look at what happened.
There you see it, Jim.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jim, stand by. I want to go to Kristen Welker, who has some very late-breaking news.
Jose, Secret Service spokesperson just posted on X saying an incident occurred the evening of July 13th at a Trump rally in Pennsylvania. The Secret Service has implemented protective measures and the former president is safe. This is now an active Secret Service investigation and further information will be released when available. Again, that is from the Secret Service. Everyone just absorbing what has occurred and unfolded in Pennsylvania. We're also getting reaction from a number of the vice presidential potential picks of former President Trump. Again, just to
see, it would seem like the only people that would be shot would be these people over in this corner here. Just because of the trajectory, you're thinking that the bullet's coming from the left side of the screen all the way to the right side. Oh, this.
Everyone at that rally, I hope everyone is okay. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum, please join Catherine and me in praying for President Trump, his family, and everyone attending the rally today. Carrie Lake, of course, Senate candidate, posting, please pray for President Trump. So reaction just beginning to pour in from the political world. Of course, as Peter just reported, President Biden has been briefed. This is the scenario that everyone, of course, feared. Scenario that everyone, of course,
said. Take a look at what happened.
Sorry, it's real hard because this video's on like it's like an 8-hour video.
Yeah.
So it's hard to skip a few frames.
Jim, stand by.
But the people that I pointed to earlier on this right,
late-breaking news.
It looks like they're
Secret
picking up
Service
the camera and filming
just
Trump as he's leaving, so I'm not even sure if those are the same people that got
at a Trump rally in
that would have got
Pennsylvania.
shot. Those were the only people I
Secret
was
Service has
guessing
implemented
at.
protective measures, and the former president is safe. This is now an active Secret Service investigation, and further
It's
information
right over here. These
will
same
be
people, they wind up
released
holding
when
cameras
available.
as
Again,
Trump's
that
leaving.
is from the Secret Service. Everyone,
So I thought maybe these
just
people right here where I'm
absorbing
seeing the arm waving, maybe those people were
what
trying to
has
call for
occurred and
help because someone
unfolded in
got shot.
Pennsylvania. We're also getting reaction from a number of the vice presidential potential picks of former President Trump. Again, just to
Unless it's
reiterate, the
over
Republican
here.
National Convention is just days away from getting underway, set to begin on Monday. Senator Rubio posting, praying for President
But you would
Trump
think
and all
these
those
people
attending
don't
the
seem
rally
like they're
in
concerned like
Pennsylvania
anyone got
today.
shot
Senator
over here,
Vance,
so
everyone
they're
join
not
me in praying
acting
for our
like it.
President Trump
You would
and
think if
everyone
someone
at
was
that
like
rally.
dead
I
in
hope
front of
everyone
you, you would
is
be
okay.
you wouldn't be
North
reacting
Dakota
like
Governor
that.
Doug Burgum, please join Catherine and me in praying for President Trump, his family, and everyone attending
So
the
if this
rally today.
like if these
Carrie
dead
Lake,
people were in front of
for
them,
Senate
you don't think they
candidate,
would be
posting,
reacting
please
like
pray
this,
for
right?
President Trump. So reaction just beginning to pour in from
So
the
no dead
political
people
world,
over
of
here
course,
because
as
see,
Peter just
that
reported,
person had a
President
camera.
Biden has
I'm like,
been
where was
briefed.
this dead? These
This
people that got
is
shot at?
the scenario
this
that
just seemed
everyone,
like a
of
really
course,
weird thing. Like
feared and
I'm scanning
was
that
trying to
whole
protect
crowd.
against. Certainly, as we had.
I'm scanning that whole crowd, and I don't see anyone that's reacting like they got a dead person next to them that just got shot. Like no call for help, no like waving frantically, trying to get anyone's attention. And then they're all just focused on saying USA, USA as Trump waves his fist and walks off the stage. And I just kind of think from all the parts of his hands I can clearly see, I don't see a drop of blood on him, on Trump. It's not like he went like, oh, I got shot. I mean, I guess he could have wiped it off, you know, could have wiped it off on his Secret Service's clothes, and maybe that's why it's not on there. I mean, you know, it's a possibility. I also just wonder when he got down on the ground, did he really get shot or did we just hear shots? He falls to the ground, hides behind his desk. They clip his ear to make it bleed.
To the ricochet
Was it something that's not a gun? Could have been some other sort of device. Could have been anything else. We just don't know. It's just far too soon to say. And if anybody is in custody, who that person or persons might be and why they did this, all very much a question at this hour as I talk to you at 6:47 Eastern Time. So we're doing a lot of reporting. Law enforcement, U.S. Secret Service trying to get a handle on it. As you can imagine, federal law enforcement agencies, and I'm including my reporting with my colleague Jonathan Dienst on this, federal law enforcement agencies are all acutely aware of what's going on and are standing by to provide any sort of information or do any sort of investigative work, depending upon what they might find. Of course, there'll be questions about security. If this was in fact an intentional act, there'll be questions about the what and the why. But right now, I think folks are still trying to get a handle on the details, the most important of which, just so people understand the current condition of the former president, is that he is expected to survive.
So I want to thank you very much. Stay with us. I want to go to Hallie Jackson, who has an update from the Trump campaign. Hallie?
Yeah, per a campaign spokesperson, I'm going to read you this statement in full as obtained by our colleague Garrett Haake. The President Trump thanks law enforcement and first responders for their quick action during this heinous act. The spokesperson goes on to say he is fine and being checked out at a local medical facility. That is it for now. We do expect more details to follow, but obviously significant now as we're looking at some of these images here, Jose, of the president, former president being escorted off stage, that he is, in the words of the campaign, he is fine. He is apparently not seriously injured based on what they are telling us, and is obviously being looked at now by doctors. It is an extraordinary moment, to say. The least here, that we are on the eve of the Republican National Convention, that for the presumptive Republican nominee, this has occurred, whatever this is, at a campaign rally just days before he is set to officially accept the nomination. We want to be super careful here because there's still a lot we don't know about motivation, but I will just echo what some of my colleagues have said here, having been to many of these kinds of rallies. There is a security perimeter in place for any time you go to an event with any current or former president. There are mags, there is security.
It's going to be real curious how he acts, you know, and getting a gauge on the way he acts after getting shot at his next rally, and what that looks like. Because I got a lot of thoughts about that. You know, and Jill, you could have joined the panel if you wanted to. I mean, I'll let anyone join the panel and talk about this or share their thoughts. I don't care how crazy your thoughts are. I had someone on here, you know, when I had Rudy on here, like I said, I don't agree with everything Rudy has to say. You guys can be pro-Trump, come on here. Like, my channel is all about letting people have free speech anyway. I mean, if I tell you you're going to have free speech, just don't come on here and cuss. But, I mean, if you want to be like, Chris, on that boy Trump, dude, his vaccine was good. And he saved us. And he's playing 4D chess. You can come on here and say all that. You know, I definitely don't believe all that. But you're more than welcome to come on here and, you know, and say, oh, no, it was a real assassination attempt. Oh, whoa, I didn't see this. So we see someone with blood. Okay, so let me maybe I can play back that part.
Nomination of the VP and of the nominee, the president, if you will, Donald Trump, is set to take place on Monday. So we will have to know that name at some point. How that announcement goes forward, in what capacity it goes forward, are one of the thousands of political questions that are going to come out of this moment, something unlike which we have ever seen before in American politics. I can tell you that one of Donald Trump's most senior campaign advisors, his de facto campaign manager, Chris LaCivita, who was with him at this rally in Pennsylvania, has also posted on social media recently recently. And I think it's a bit of a preview of what we're going to hear from the campaign, and certainly what we're hearing from the kind of greater MAGA universe of Trump supporters. He writes, Chris LaCivita, the campaign manager, writes, for years, even today, leftist activists, Democratic donors, and now even Joe Biden, he alludes to a comment from the current president, he says, have made disgusting remarks and descriptions of shooting Donald Trump. It's high time they be held accountable for it. The best way is through the ballot box. So at least the campaign manager, and Lester, I suspect soon the greater campaign apparatus and Republican Party, I think was going to take this moment to turn the language that we've been using collectively about this campaign, the stakes of it, on its head, and try to use it as a way to say both the temperature has to come down, and that somehow, as LaCivita says, those on the left should be punished electorally for what happened to Donald Trump today.
Garrett, does the former president typically go home, or does he sleep on the road when he's on these campaign trips?
No, Lester, he almost never sleeps on the road. Donald Trump prefers to sleep at his own properties. So depending on where he is in the country, we often see him either return to Mar-a-Lago in Florida, to his golf club in Bedminster, New Jersey, or to Trump Tower in New York City, or to a Trump property, either in a place like Trump hotel property, either in a place like Chicago or Las Vegas. It was our understanding he'd be going back to one of the Trump properties on the East Coast tonight, most likely Bedminster, his golf club in New Jersey. From there, he would travel to Milwaukee. Whether that plan changes tonight, I think is an open question. Obviously, Mar-a-Lago, all these properties are about this campaign, the stakes of it from the campaign, and certainly what we're hearing from the kind of greater.
Okay, so I'm just kind of playing this back because I was just curious about where they're carrying that person out from the bleachers. I'm looking to see if they have those people they interviewed. Were any of those people around? Because you remember the guy in the red shirt that he said he was helping to carry him out. Because they said that guy in the red shirt was helping to carry this guy out, but I don't see that guy. I see nothing but police officers, and he said he helped to carry him to the barn. But I don't see him. And that looked like him right there with that fishing hat on, but I'm not sure. Well, there's that one guy that they interviewed earlier. So at least he's over there. I'm just curious about just unusual facial expressions or anything. I think that might be the guy right there that they interviewed earlier. I'm wondering if it is. I'm kind of looking for that Robbie Parker kind of stuff where you see someone smiling like, oh, this is so exciting. It's like, really? Okay. Well, earlier when I saw that one black, I don't know what they said his name was. I thought I would want to make sure he wasn't like sitting there smiling, because it did kind of, when the video was going real fast, looked like he was smiling, but he's not. now that I know where those people came from.
Bedminster, typically much fewer staff, much smaller footprint, less folks around. You know, I would be speculating, but I can imagine you would probably want to be at one of.
But what's really wild is that Trump's way over here, and the person that got shot is somewhere way over here. So I would like to see some more footage of the people over here. So I'm like wondering, like, how did someone get shot way over here? Because if you're targeting Trump, I mean, that's a heck of a miss to be shooting over there.
One of these smaller, more easily protected.
So I'm looking for people who might be like noticing someone dead. Maybe he's kind of bending over. Hey, are you okay? And he sees someone with like a hole in their head. Maybe.
Locations here tonight, maybe less likely to go.
Trying to figure out like if there's anyone over here that looks like they got
to go back to a place like Mar-a-Lago where other folks are likely to be there tonight.
Yeah. All right, Garrett Haake, we appreciate it. Thanks very much. Our senior White House correspondent Kelly O'Donnell joins us with her latest reporting. We understand President Biden is on the move this evening.
It is unusual to see the president traveling very late at night, but these circumstances have warranted that in his judgment. He will be leaving his Rehoboth.
Okay, so I'm still looking like, where is the person who got shot at over here? Like,
With Beach, Delaware, residents and traveling back to the White
I
House
just don't
tonight.
see
We
anyone
expect that
over in
he
that
will
section
arrive
reacting
here
weird,
in
right?
Washington
Like someone just got
after
shot.
midnight.
Someone just got their heads blown off over here. So where's all the reaction going on? Like where's someone pointing like, hey, someone's hurt. Someone got hit.
Returning to the White House sometime around 12:30 in the morning. This is a change in his schedule. It is
I
absolutely
mean, there's
as a
supposedly
result
a shot
of the
person
incident.
over here and a dead body. Someone with a hole in their head. And this is just not what I expect from people who are reacting to someone who got shot.
I didn't do that.
Oh, hey, Rudy.
Oh, hi. Sorry, I was talking in the background, but I was just gonna mention there's different angles on Twitter. It's trending right now under shooter hashtag. And
All
there's
right,
like different
good,
angles.
man. We'll go find that. Because, I mean, don't you think it's kind of weird, though? Like, I'm playing this back, and I'm like, I don't see people reacting, pointing, someone got shot. Like, I'll go.
Today, we heard from the president publicly in two forms already tonight. First, a written statement, and
Where's
then,
the person
as
who got
you
shot?
were in
They
the
were
chair
supposed to be on
earlier
this
when he
side.
spoke to the small group
I'll
of
play that
reporters
Twitter
with
stuff,
him
though.
in
I just
Delaware,
want
known as the Traveling Press Pool,
they,
and he addressed
pan
the
over
concerns
all
about
or anything,
this
and-
incident and said that he was trying to reach former President Trump to speak to him directly
Yeah, I
and
think
personally
right now
by
they
phone.
never
They had
pan
not
over
done so at that
again.
point. He described how he has been briefed by the head of the Secret Service, his
We just
Secretary of
think if
Homeland
someone's
Security,
dead,
and also
like,
other
there'd be
officials,
some kind of
including his
attention
Homeland
going over
Security
towards the
advisor
left
within the
side of
White
the
House,
screen.
who would be steeped in the knowledge of any potential threats.
like-
The president saying that he, of course, wants.
All right. So, do you know any links by any chance, Rudy? Because you can actually post them in the back, and I can go, oh, maybe you did, or I don't know if that's.
No, that's an old one, but here's the
Oh, cool, man.
hashtag.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem. Yeah, I just
I
logged
gotta
in.
sign into X. Are you kidding me?
Should be able to view it on the webpage, but I'm not sure. I think they changed it.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me, man. No. If I do have to make an account. Let's make an account live, I guess.
I know, right?
Gosh.
It's not too well.
At least you can do it this way, but dang it, I never wanted to go on this platform ever again. I'll have less relevant ads. Okay, so now let me try to. Oh, I didn't mean to. Oh, so this would be one of them, I guess. Man, that's so weird. I didn't know they had snipers up there. Is that what that guy is?
Right.
Is that's not normal? Is that normal? I didn't even know, like, so whenever you go to like an event or something, they always got snipers up on roofs ready to snipe someone down. Yeah, it's weird. It's almost like he's even already looking through a gun sight. That is the weirdest thing. Because it already looks like he's getting ready to shoot at someone. But one thing I'm going to do is pause.
Couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Oh, dang it. I wanted to catch it before it got to that point. I'm curious if I even see anyone. See, I'm still trying to find out, like, who got shot over here. But so let's see this. So they say this is where the shooter was on a rooftop approximately 125 meters, 410 feet from where Trump was. So they're okay. So saying Trump's over here, the shooter's over here.
Looks like it's just like some random area. Not sure why they chose there, but
Well, I'm glad you showed me this, man, because I was about ready to stop with that stuff, that footage.
You can see behind us at the Brinkles Farming Greenhouse here. We had a party, and we all decided, hey, you know, when we hear Trump up there, we're going to walk up through the field, stand by the trees out there under the shade, and watch and listen to the rally. Right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, you know, but. We noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, and, you know, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle. We could clearly see him with a rifle, absolutely. We're pointing at them. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? You know, like they didn't know what was going on. You know, we're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. You know, he's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, 2 or 3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes.
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling the police and the Secret Service?
We were telling the police. We were pointing at them for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? I mean, this is not a big place.
Did you see, I mean, obviously everyone, when the shooting started, everyone was very panicked. Did you see what happened to him at all?
Oh, yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret Service blew his head off.
Okay, just be careful because we don't quite know who's watching, but you're pretty sure they shot the guy?
Absolutely, 100%. Okay. Yep.
You saw that happen?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And did you see them go up to him afterwards, or?
They crawled up on the roof. They had their guns pointed at him, make sure he was dead. He was dead, and that was it. It was over.
It's incredibly shocking.
The guy was on the roof right there. You can see the white roof right there.
Did you get a look at him? Could you?
No, other than he was in muted colors, tan type clothing. We saw the rifle flinging around as he was trying to crawl. I mean, we saw the rifle, 100%.
Do you know about guns? Do you know what kind of weapon it was?
Oh, I absolutely know about guns, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it was a rifle of some sort. I wouldn't know, I wasn't close enough to read the label on it, but,
sure.
it was a rifle of some sort. Yeah, absolutely.
So how do you process what you've just seen?
I don't know what to say, man. All I'll tell you is, if I walked up close to there with anything that Secret Service considered a problem, I wouldn't be standing here talking to you right now. But I don't know why a guy who we're standing there pointing out to police and Secret Service is crawling up the roof. Yes, right there by that tree. We were outside the security perimeter. But my question is, there's only a few buildings around here. Why is Secret Service not on every building here?
Well, there's a whole bunch of questions, I think, that are going to come.
There's a whole bunch of questions.
Yeah.
Yes, she was right in front of me. She kept going back and forth right in front of me. Yes.
Tell us about her.
I mean, nice horse, nice lady running with a flag. Seemed very, patriotic.
But what's the significance of her?
No, he asked me if I saw a horse.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, I'm sorry you had to witness that. That was a terrible thing. And you should stay safe with your family and
Gotcha.
look after yourself. Thanks for
So I'm going to have to go in a few minutes, but that is kind of weird that this guy is trying to tell the police that there's a man on the roof, and then Trump's still speaking. They should have, said, someone should have been able to radio Secret Service in seconds and let them know someone's on that roof.
Right.
And that's another point the guy brought up. Is like, why wasn't Secret Service watching all these roofs?
Right. Well, have a good day and thanks for the show.
Oh yeah, hey man, thank you too, man. Thanks. Yeah, thank you for even suggesting this because I wouldn't have even bothered. So I'm gonna play a couple more clips and then I'll probably just call it a night.
All right, have a good one.
Yep, thanks, Rudy.
Department physician.
So let's see.
Hunter, that's exactly where I heard him come from.
What did you see, sir? I heard the shots. I thought it was firecrackers to begin with. Somebody over there was screaming, he's been shot, he's been shot. So I made my way over. I said, I'm an emergency department physician. Let me help you. The guy had spun around, was jammed between the benches. He had a headshot here. There's lots of blood, and he had brain matter there.
Oh,
and
no.
so I got him. There's a helicopter coming in to get him. I got people there really helpful. I got
Was
him
there only
up
one
on the
person
bench.
shot that you saw?
Then I did CPR, did chest compressions as well as I breathed for him.
One person.
I was the only one that did it.
need to evacuate everybody. Hunter, that's exactly where I heard him come from.
What did you see, sir?
I heard the shots.
Now, I will say medical staff will be pretty calm in crazy situations because they're used to having people come, like trauma and things like that, coming into emergency rooms, and they got to be, used to staying calm to keep the patient calm. So okay, so this one is one I'm curious about. I wish you could, I guess there is no volume, so. But I am just curious about the crowd's initial reaction when someone over there is like dead in the bleachers. Because it seemed like they were more concerned about like being overly focused on Trump and the rally, other than someone that just got their brains blown out in front of you. It's really odd. Yo, Born. Said it's strange how Democrat Rep Chuck Schumer said that they're going to assassinate Trump. Now this happens. They're boosting Trump's poll numbers for the election. Yeah, that's kind of the thing I think. I mean, they want to make him seem like the most legit candidate of all time for some reason. And it's like, come on. It's like, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, right? And it's like, we saw this guy push an experimental vax on us. He could have easily wrote into Warp Speed that this can never be mandated and never be forced on people and that it's experimental. That's all he had to do. Then he had other legislation and other chances to sign similar things, never bothered to even give it a thought, even consider that suggestion, right? And it seemed like he fought against that suggestion from, the things I understand. Like, oh no, it's almost like he wanted to make sure it could be mandated. But anyway, Bjorn says BBC report said there was members at the Pennsylvania saw a man on top of a building 3 minutes before the shooting. They reported it to local police and they just ignored. Oh yeah. We went over that. I'm probably reading old messages, so sorry. So Rebuke and Reprove says demon rats are part of the KKK, slavery, Jim Crow, abortion, Trump assassination. You cannot be a Christian and support Democrats. Well, I agree with that. That's why I wonder why Seventh-day Adventists support Democrats. I thought you guys were Seventh-day Adventists were supposed to be against the Pope, against slavery, and all this stuff, but yet they're supporting the Democrat Party. I mean, I just don't think you should ever vote Democrat, especially if you believe the Pope is behind things, because there's never been a party more Catholic than the Democrat Party. Hence, that's why your first, your first governor that was a Catholic, it was a Democrat. First senator that was a Catholic, it was a Democrat. First person who was a president who was a Democrat, it was who was a Catholic who was a president was a Democrat. First Supreme Court judge who was Catholic was a Democrat. So the Democrat Party has always been very friendly to the Roman Catholics. Even the Catholic Church, the priests tell their congregation, vote Democrat because it best represents Catholic social teaching. And if you read enough Catholic websites, you'll see that. Anyway, Agwe says it would help to know the organization of the bleachers of the rally site to find out where the person reported who was shot, although it appears a gunshot sounded from far left of the site. Yeah, that's where it looks like. It looks like it came from the left, but the whole thing is, it's like, I don't, like, you, whenever I replay these videos back like this, it'll pan over to that left side, or at least at some point it eventually will, but you don't see, like, people panicking over here. Like, over here, where's, like, I keep looking for the person who got shot, and you would think that some people might, like, as you're watching this video, they would be pointing like, oh, hey, someone's shot, get an emergency. And we just don't see that sort of reaction. That's why I think it's so weird. Truth Freeze, if there's anything you want to say, more than welcome to pipe in anytime, say whatever. I'm going to be going soon, so you better say something if you're going to say something.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Real quick, I just wanted to ask. First, I mean, I just heard about this a few hours ago, but do you think this is a false flag, of some sort? And we know there was some sort of predictive programming when he was president. He had some bulletproof glass in front of him and a laser, and there's been some, like, I don't know, alluding to, oh, somebody's going to try to assassinate him. But also, would this not also help before the election, a more civil divide of those that are the pro-Trumpers, and look what they're, look what's happened now, and what do you call, rally the bases, and help for more. I think it's setting up for more, like, civil divide in our nation, and even civil war with Trump's, like, suffering like Jesus and stuff like that. But now with this, it's like, oh, now especially the pro-Trumpers, it's going to get them more strong on their side, and before the election. So I just want to know what you think about that.
Well, I definitely think there's some sort of FF coming. So, what I'm wondering is, there's this guy, Mark Violet. They said he uploaded a video right before the guy who did the whole assassination or attempt. Because that's what it says right here. Mark Violets. Okay, I better look for Violets. See if we can find it. So maybe this is it.
You should have never taken the product.
Let's see.
This is why I stopped shopping on Amazon, and you should too. Don't spend another dime on Amazon.
Rápidamente nada más, Ariel, un segundo, porque precisamente lo que hablabas, el tema de la identidad de esta persona, el presunto tirano de policía de Butler confirma ya la identidad de esta persona, el tirador quien habría agredido a Donald Trump. El sujeto está identificado como Mark Violets. Como le hemos informado, este sujeto ya fue abatido y ahí está justamente la imagen en su pantalla. Es justamente lo que tú nos estabas.
No one knows Spanish, do they? Because I just want to make sure that's not like his channel or something, like Estodos, Unidos.
Platicando, digamos, el saldo, por decirlo de alguna manera, de personas que están lesionadas. En este caso, el propio tirador, que ahí está ya el nombre, está la identidad. Mi querido Ariel.
I was hoping to find his YouTube channel. You know what? Sometimes people post it in the comments, but they...
Oh, wait, Chris, really quick, while I'm thinking about it, this is a time to try to catch any, like, sort of private, video footage before it gets scrubbed.
Oh, yeah, that's the only reason why I'm making this. It's because I'm anticipating that. It's just like when we were watching that. If you remember that night when January 20th, and we were all watching it live, and you came on my show, and we were talking about as it all happened, and a lot of that stuff scrubbed. Like, there was that video that Trump on Twitter, and I can't find this certain video anymore. and I was like, it looks like he's like he's behind a green screen or something.
Ah, there are people that know for sure how to know if something's green screen or not. There's this Dream Eskimo, but he's not just a video documentary maker, but he was in Hollywood movie making, and he was explaining about CGI, like for some of the like top shooting and that they cannot impose easily blood on a spot because once you move, there's just something about the CGI, the technology about it, technicalities, and how it can alter, and it's a problem. So they don't always, there are people that know right off the bat, is it green screen, just by with some forensic capabilities. But yeah, how did a sniper get so close?
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, just a sniper getting so close, and that it probably was a really good sniper. If in fact it all, who knows? Like, but the setup, poor Trump, like Jesus, he suffered. He's being persecuted, and Trump is glad to repost Twitter mentions of him suffering like Jesus, or sort of being like God. And he'll actually, has reposted stuff like that. And now you got the pro-Trumpers and the anti-Biden, of course, who wouldn't be anti-Biden. And I think it's just setting up for in election fraud for an easy. I could see riots breaking out everywhere come election time. I really can. In civil, divide. Now maybe I'm like, sort of off the track on all this, but yeah, how can they get so okay? Whatever sniper, if it really happened the way they said, well, that close to killing Trump, yeah, I don't know.
So they said the image attributed to Mark Violet is from an Italian YouTuber.
I thought he was speaking Spanish, huh?
I thought it was too. Well, I was listening to a Spanish-speaking channel.
Oh, okay.
So,
but what does this mean for us? Somebody just pointed out Vigano. I think he's a cardinal or archbishop. Is set. He's been Pope Francis. He's spoken out against him and the deep state. Sounds like a good guy. If you didn't know it, you'd think like, oh, and he might somewhat be setting up to be the next pope. I don't know if you heard that or not. Vigano, Vigano, Vigano. I heard of him when I was Catholic years ago. I was like, wow, he's one of the good, really good, like actual good cardinals or bishops. Strange. In general, I would say 99% of all the shootings and stuff that are especially mainstream covered, they're some kind of theater, false flag. I would call that on this without knowing, but yeah, hard to know. But, what are the chances if Trump is selected to be the next president? How would a sniper, it'd have to be a good sniper to actually not accidentally shoot him. Yeah. And him to go along. I don't know. All I know is just on the back of the Dems throwing Biden under the bus, I do an early debate, and I watched CNN after they all had negative stuff about Biden. Like, yeah, we can't, he's not going to be the one running against Trump. They got to pick somebody else, and they got to do it early enough. So that's why they had this early debate. Yeah. I'm just worried because Trump ain't the answer. I just saw somebody had a sign instead of Trump 2024. It was Jesus 2024, our only hope. Not Trump. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go. I just wanted to ask you if you thought it was, not totally fake, but yeah, there's obviously some kind of what's the word? Purposeful. This didn't just happen out of the blue. It's not organic. Yeah, is what I would say. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta make sure I order pizza for my kids, so that's what I'm trying to do right now.
You do that. All righty. You take care. Bye bye.
All right. Yeah, sorry people. It's like my mind's a little distracted because my kid came down. He's like, "Can you order some pizza?" And I'm trying to get a pizza order in. So anyway, I think I'm gonna have to let you guys go. Thanks for watching. I gotta hurry up and get this order in. I only got like 5 minutes. But appreciate everyone watching.